You are standing in your room right now. Look around. The walls. The light coming through the window. The dust floating in that light. All of it is real. All of it will last. Not forever, but long enough that it feels like forever to you. Your house might stand for 100 years, maybe 200 if you take care of it. The oldest building still in use on Earth is over 1,000 years old. That's the Älvdalen Church in Sweden, built in the year 1008. 1,000 years. A human lifetime is maybe 80 years. So that church has stood for 12 human lifetimes. That feels permanent to us. But here is what you need to know. Everything you can see, everything you own, everything that has ever been built will be completely gone. Not in 1,000 years, not in 1,000,000, but it will be gone. And before it disappears, so will you. So will everyone you know. So will everyone who ever knew anyone you knew. That is not the strange part. The strange part is that the universe will keep going after that. Long after. So long after that, the numbers stop meaning anything. We are not good at thinking about time. Our brains evolved to plan for seasons and years, maybe decades. We can imagine 100 years because we can almost picture it. That is 4 generations of humans. We can imagine 1,000 years because it is just 10 centuries. But the universe does not think in centuries. The universe does not think at all. It simply exists in scales that our minds were never designed to hold. And the universe is dying. Not soon. Not in any way that threatens you or your children or your children's children or the children of everyone alive today, multiplied by 1,000. But it is dying. It is ending. And when it ends, there will be no one left to witness it. No one left to understand what happened. No consciousness anywhere in reality to mark the moment when the last star goes dark. That is what we are going to talk about today. Not about how the universe will die, though we will touch on that, but about what it means that it will end alone. That the universe, after everything, after billions of years of stars and planets and life and thought and love and all of it, will simply stop. And no one will be there to see it stop. Most people do not think about this. Most people do not want to. It is easier to live as if things will always be here, as if the sun will always rise, as if there is time, infinite time, endless tomorrow, after tomorrow. But that is not true. And somewhere, on some level, we all know it. We all feel it. That is why we built the cathedrals. That is why we write books. That is why we make art. We are trying to leave something behind. We are trying to matter. We are trying to create something that will outlast us. But we are not thinking big enough. Because here is the thing that will change how you see the sky forever. The universe itself was not thinking that way. The universe made stars. The universe made planets. The universe made you. And then the universe set an end date. A final moment. An absolute conclusion. And it did not ask for witnesses. This is not a scary story. This is a true story. And it is stranger than any horror. Because the ending of everything is not dramatic. It is not violent. It is not quick. It is patient. It is slow. It is inevitable. And it will happen in a universe that is so empty, so cold, so absolutely silent, that the ending will make no sound at all. Let me show you what the end looks like. But first, you need to understand how impossibly far away it is. You need to understand the journey from here, from now, from your room, from Earth, to that final moment. And that journey is almost incomprehensibly long. Start with the Sunday. Someday. 1. The sun is dying right now. Not today. Not this year. Not even in the next million years. But it is burning fuel. Hydrogen. Every second, the sun converts 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium. 600 million tons per second. That is approximately the weight of 100 Empire State Buildings. Every second. And it will keep doing this for another 5 billion years. 5 billion years. Let that sit for a moment. Humans have been here for 300,000 years. Civilization has been here for 10,000 years. Written history is 5,000 years old. And the sun will burn for 1,000 times longer than all of recorded human history has existed. But 5 billion years is not the end of the universe. It is not even close to the beginning of the end. When the sun dies, it will expand. It will become a red giant. It will swallow Mercury. It will swallow Venus. It will probably swallow Earth. Everything on Earth will be burned away. Every city, every mountain, every person who ever lived. All of it will be ash in the stellar wind. If somehow Earth survives that pushed out by gravity into a wider orbit, it will become a frozen, dead rock orbiting the white dwarf that remains. A cinder, a ghost of a world. But even that is not the end. The sun is just one star. There are 2 trillion other stars in the observable universe. 2 trillion. If you tried to count them saying one number every second, never sleeping, never stopping, it would take you 60 million years just to reach 1 trillion. You could not do it. No human could. No group of humans could. You could not count the stars. And in 2 trillion star systems, life might exist. Life might have existed. Life might still exist right now. As you read this, on worlds so far away that the light from their suns has not reached us yet. And all of it will end. Here is when. In about 10 trillion years, the universe will no longer create new stars. Every star that was going to be born has already been born. Now, they only die. The big ones exploded long ago as supernovas. The medium ones, like our sun, will become white dwarfs. The small ones, the red dwarfs, they will burn much longer. A red dwarf might shine for 100 trillion years. That is not a typo. 100 trillion. That is longer than the age of the universe so far, by a factor of nearly 10,000. Think about that. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. A single red dwarf could burn for 7,000 times longer than that. And when it finally dies, fading to a brown dwarf, a black dwarf, a cold ember that gives off no light, there will be no new stars anywhere. Nowhere. Nowhere in all of reality will there be a star. No light. No warmth. No energy being released. Just cooling. Fading. Darkness. But stars are not the only things burning fuel. In galaxies throughout the universe, there are black holes. Black holes eat. They pull in matter and energy and devour it. And as they devour, they evaporate. This is real science. It is called Hawking radiation. Discovered by Stephen Hawking in 1974. Black holes are not perfectly black. They leak. They slowly lose mass. And when they lose enough mass, they explode. They evaporate completely. How long does this take? Well, for a supermassive black hole, the kind at the center of galaxies, it takes about 10 to the 100th years. That is a 1 followed by 100 zeros. The age of the universe is 13.8 billion. That is a 1 followed by 10 zeros. A supermassive black hole takes 10 to the 90 times longer to evaporate than the entire age of the universe so far. And when all the black holes are gone, when they have all evaporate completely, the universe will be truly empty. No stars, no black holes, no planets, no atoms, even they will have decayed by then. Just radiation. Scattered, thin, almost undetectable radiation, filling an infinitely large space, getting colder and colder and colder forever. But here is the gut punch. Here is where you should feel truly small. Right now, at this very moment, there are beings somewhere in the universe who are looking up at their sky and seeing stars. They are wondering what they are. They are making art about them. They are building civilizations. They are falling in love under those stars. They have no idea that every single thing they see will be gone. Every single thing. Not just them, not just their world, but everything they see, everything that exists in their universe will be dead, cold, and utterly silent. And the worst part? There is nothing they can do about it. There is nothing anyone can do. This is not a problem we can solve. This is not a disease we can cure. This is the fundamental rule of reality. Energy spreads out. Order becomes disorder. Everything that burns will stop burning. Everything that shines will go dark. The universe is, quite literally, a cosmic clock that is winding down. And when it runs out, it does not reset. Billions of species will come and go before that happens. Trillions. Unimaginable numbers of intelligent beings will exist. Will look up at the sky. Will wonder what it all means. Will create. Will struggle. Will love. Will die. And then, they will be gone. Then other species will come. And they will die too. On and on. For trillions of years. Civilizations rising and falling in the darkness between the stars. And every single one of them will eventually reach a moment when they have to accept the same truth. The universe does not care about them. The universe is not cruel. It is not kind. It is not anything. It simply is what it is. And what it is temporary. Everything is temporary. Even permanence is temporary. Even the laws of physics might break down in the extremely distant future, in times so far away that the numbers do not even have names. Some physicists think that protons might decay, that atoms themselves might fall apart, that even the atoms that make up the atoms might dissolve into radiation and energy. And when all of that is gone, when every last photon of radiation has spread so far and so thin that the universe is colder than absolute zero could ever measure, and I mean that literally, it will be incomprehensibly close to zero energy, zero temperature, zero of anything. Then, there will be nothing left. No observers, no witnesses, no consciousness anywhere. The universe will have ended, and no one will be there to know it ended. Here is what I want you to understand. This is not a tragedy. Or rather, it is not a tragedy because there is no one left to be tragic about it. A tragedy requires a witness. It requires someone to stand at the ruins and mourn. It requires consciousness to feel the loss. But by the time the universe ends, there will be no consciousness. There will be nothing that can feel sadness or loss or anger or fear. There will just be nothing. A universe that is empty of everything except the absolute basic laws of physics, playing out in a void that has no one to observe them. And strangely, that is comforting, because it means that all of this, everything you see, everyone you love, every civilization that has ever existed or will ever exist, none of it has to justify itself to some larger purpose. None of it has to fit into some cosmic plan. You do not exist to serve some grand design that is heading somewhere important. You exist because the universe made you. And that is enough. That is everything. Think about it this way. Right now, in this moment, there are stars burning in the sky. There are planets spinning in the darkness. And on at least one of them, this one, the one you are standing on, there is a human being who can think about the stars, who can understand, in some small way, what they are, who can be amazed by them. That is an extraordinary thing. That is almost impossible. The odds of you being here, right now, with a mind complex enough to contemplate your own existence and the existence of the universe, those odds are so small that they might as well be zero. And yet here you are. Here we are. We exist. We are conscious. We can ask questions. We can wonder. And that matters, even though the universe will not care when we are gone. Because the mattering is not about what will happen in 10 trillion years. It is not about whether anything survives. The mattering is about now. It is about this moment. It is about the fact that right now, in the presence of an indifferent universe, we have created meaning. We have created beauty. We have created love. We have looked up at the stars and understood something true about reality. We have stood on the edge of the void and not turned away. Every book ever written is a middle finger to the heat death of the universe. Every song is a rebellion against silence. Every act of kindness is a small light in an enormous darkness. Every moment of beauty that you witness or create is a victory against chaos. Because you have insisted that it matters, even though the universe does not care. The universe will end. Yes, but that end is not here yet. It is not tomorrow. It is not in 1,000 years or 1,000,000. It is incomprehensibly far away. And in the space between now and then, that vast, almost infinite space, there is time, there is room, there is possibility, there are still stars, there is still light, there is still you. And the you that is here, reading this, thinking about this, feeling something shift in your understanding of what reality is that you matters. Not because the universe will remember you, not because you will echo through eternity, but because you are alive now. You are conscious now. You have, in this moment, looked directly at the scale and the silence and the absolute indifference of reality, and you have not broken. That is the human project. That is what we have always done. We have looked at impossible things, the ocean, the mountains, the night sky, and we have stood there and we have created meaning out of nothing. We have looked at death and we have laughed and loved anyway. We have built civilizations in the light of stars that were already dying, and we have done it, knowing, on some level, that it would not last. The universe is ending, but it is not ending today. And before it ends, before the final photon scatters into the void and absolute darkness closes in forever, there will be moments. There will be nights when you look up and see the stars. There will be people you love. There will be things you create. There will be sunrises and songs and conversations that seem to matter so much that they could not possibly be temporary. And they are temporary. Everything is temporary. That is what the universe is telling us. But for now, for this moment, they exist, and so do you. The universe will end with no witness, no one to mark the moment, no one to remember what was, but it will not end empty, because before it ends, there was life, there was consciousness. Also, the start of the moment, there was you, standing in the light of a dying star, understanding something true about reality, and choosing to live anyway. That is the only immortality we have. Not duration, not forever, but meaning. Right now, in this moment, in the light that will eventually fade, but has not faded yet. The stars will go dark, but they are still burning.